Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be jumping into some Standard with a nice little casual Mimi brew. We're going to be playing around with Strixhaven's I Win the Game card. It's going to be called Body of Research. It's kind of an I Win the Game card, attached to a flimsy, easy-to-kill creature, so yeah, we're going to have some fun with this. Body of Research, 3 green, 3 blue, to create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. You put X counters on it, where X is the number of cards in your library. So usually, this ends up being a creature that has power and toughness larger than your opponent's life total. That's all you need to know about this card. What we're going to do when we cast it is we're going to win with it. We're going to do that by using Kazul's Fury, a 3-mana instant that's also a land drop. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sack a creature, and then Kazul's Fury deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. So we play a Body of Research, and then we Kazul's Fury. That's one way that we can win the game. The other way that we can do it is having a Terror of the Peaks in play at the time, a 5-mana 5/4 with flying. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. So on turn 5, we play Terror. On turn 6, we can Body of Research and win the game on the spot. Now, the issue can come down to mana on this one. Of course, doing the turn 5, turn 6 with Terror of the Peaks is less likely to happen, since we don't really have dual lands in Standard right now. Not good ones, at least. So we can actually improve that a little bit by going with the World Tree. We also have Ketria Triomes in here as well. Those are our good dual lands, so it is certainly possible to do the turn 5, turn 6, though. The mana is a little bit more difficult on that front. We do have ramp, though, so we don't have to do it on turn 5, turn 6, but it is just an option that's available to us. Speaking of ramp, we got Cultivate. 3 mana sorcery, search for 2 basics, put 1 into play, 1 into your hand. Beanstalk Giant, search your library for a basic land and put it onto the battlefield with the Fertile Footsteps. It can then become a 7-mana power and toughness equal to the number of lands you control, and that also combos nicely with Terror of the Peaks. We have Prismari Command, which is pseudo-ramp as well. You guys probably know full well at this point that I'm in love with this card. It just ends up finding its way into every single deck I play. I just can't help myself. What can I say? 2 damage to any target, draw 2, discard 2, create a treasure, or destroy a target artifact. You get to choose 2 of those for 3 mana. I think it's just absurd value. The 2 damage can be a little bit hit or miss from time to time, but the rest of the card is just absolutely spot on. For those things that don't die to Prismari Command, we got Fire Prophecy and Storm's Wrath. We do have a nice little sweeper here, because other than Terror of the Peaks, we don't really play creatures that die to this, so it's just kind of a free wipe in our deck. Other than that, I guess, yeah, we'll talk about Genesis Ultimatum. It's another alternative win con of sorts. So we've mentioned Terror of the Peaks having ETB triggers with Body of Research and Beanstalk Giant. Genesis Ultimatum can also help us along that way as well. So you look at the top 5 cards of your library and put any number of permanent cards from among them onto the battlefield, and then the rest into your hands. So it's a draw 5, or it's put 5 into play for free. So if you get Terror of the Peaks plus a large Beanstalk Giant, you're going to get that immediate value. If you hit 2 Terror of the Peaks, they're going to trigger off of each other, and then you're going to have an absurd amount of power in the flying space on the battlefield, which is really nice. It's only a 3 of, though, because a lot of our deck is instant and sorcery based, so this has a reasonable chance of just whiffing. You got to be kind of aware of the state of your deck at the time that you cast it as to whether or not it's actually worth doing. Basically, the amount of Beanstalk Giants and Terror of the Peaks you've cast up until that point dictates how good this card's going to end up being. Other than that, though, it is a 7-mana draw 5, so, you know, it still has its upsides, even though they are not particularly huge. In a control matchup, we have 2 copies in a gate. It might want to be 3. I don't know. We're going to be playing this in the casual queue today, and I've noticed a lot of the casual matchups that it likes to pair us against relentlessly end up being like interactive based decks. But the only way this can really be interacted with, as long as you cast it on turn 9, so 6 mana plus 3 mana, the only way it can be interacted with is via counter spells. So your opponent can't kill in response to a Kazul's Fury, because the sacking is part of the additional cost, so that's something to be aware of. But yeah, we got 2 copies in a gate, just in case our opponent is running removal spells and things like that. We can potentially play this on 8 untap and then Kazul's Fury. That just gives us a little bit of flexibility. But yeah, it might want to be 3 negates, 3 fire prophecies. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, it is a casual deck after all, so we're going to be doing a lot of losing. We're going to be doing a fair bit of winning, but we're going to be having a fair bit of fun along the way. And if you do have fun and you do enjoy today's video, I'd really appreciate it if you do hit that like button and subscribe. And without further ado, let's continue. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Alright, against Boreon, we've got a negate hand. It's not the best hand in the world, but I'll keep it. I might end up having to throw Kazul's Fury down as a land drop. Well, with the island, maybe not. We'll have to see. Binding of the Titans. Alright. Fair enough. Let's hold open our negate, I suppose. Did I even have any creatures in there? I did not. No life for you. And a golden egg that can resolve. We'll allow this. And they did not get a creature, so their chapter 3 is gonna fizzle. So I don't think that I should hold up a negate here. I think I want to actually grab a blue source out of my deck and get ourselves closer to the body of research, because if we ever get there, then we're just going to win the game. Elite Spellbinder, sure. See where they want to play that. Probably on the Terror of the Peaks, if I had to guess, because I could play it next turn if I have an untapped red source. Nope, never mind. They're betting on me not having the untapped red source, so... power to them, I suppose. They could also have land Yorion here, which would also suck. Seeker's Chariot. I'll play that. I shall say no to this. Let's see. Can go on either way. Let's get it on blue. 1, 2, 3. I think I just want to go Terror of the Peaks. Blocks the Spellbinder. Stops our opponent from flickering the Spellbinder to make the Terror of the Peaks cost 2 more. It's got the answer. We draw a mountain. Then we'll just go for Genesis Ultimatum here. See what we can hit. If we hit like double Terror, then... nope, never mind. All lands, and the untapped ones cannot cast Fire Prophecy. Can't make it up. I think that puts us on Body of Research cast, though. Alright, so Eerie Ultimatum doesn't really do anything. It's cute, but it doesn't do anything. Take 3. Oh, this puts us 2 mana short. 1 mana short, sorry, of flinging at our opponent. So I think that means that we probably don't go for the fling. Let's instead go grab a basic. Hopefully I've still got one. I do. Just make it a red source. I'm not sure it matters. Let's then Think about this very carefully. This leaves me with 1 mana. I want to be Prismari commanding, I think, to kill the Chariot and the Spellbinder. But we can wait until our opponent crews with the Chariot to hopefully avoid some more damage. Can't imagine they can do much about our little combo. Valky doesn't change anything. Opponent gets to see my hand though, so they know my line of play. And Yorion. Okay, so we're going to deal 2 damage, destroy an artifact. Like so. That way Yorion doesn't really get to do anything relevant. Yeah, they can crew it if they want. It doesn't actually do anything. It's still an artifact that dies. And they can flicker some irrelevant enchantments. Yorion to hand. For the sake of argument, let's Fire Prophecy and dump a Fire Prophecy. Two damage, create treasure. Yep, get to kill my treasure. Mill some cards. I'm still making a 30-30. Well, let's make this one from hand as well. A 29-29 that is now hitting you in the face. Whee! Sweet. Awesome. And that's how it's done, I suppose. Yeah, interesting Boreon list from them. As long as it's not the Sultai one, then Boreon could become Yorion. But yeah, let's go for the next one. Alrighty then, we're in. This hand is, I would define it as unkeepable. Like, the reason why we play Genesis Ultimatum is to hit Terror of the Peaks, so, you know. These kinda are unplayable, and they make this card unplayable, so we're gonna hit them all. And this looks much better. We've got ramp and a thing to ramp into, removal along the way. I'm not sure which card we put to the bottom. Probably, like, the Beanstalk Giant, because, again, it's something to hit off Genesis Ultimatum. And Cultivate's better as the first spell because it puts a land into a hand and ensures that we make 2 land drops, basically. Which I think is more useful. Alright. We could always, like, Goldfish as well and assume that we're not going to need this Fire Prophecy. It's not necessarily incorrect. Double Cultivate. Alright, well... Put this on blue. We've already got our red source. So let's go get blue-green so we can cast our Body of Research, hopefully on curve. Can always play the Ketria Triumph and play Cultivate again, something like that. Fair enough. I can kill my own creature, but it wouldn't get me much because still have to kill the Relic Robber. Well, I think the line here is to kill the Relic Robber and then probably Cultivate again. Putting the Ketria Triumph back, probably. Come on. Magic, please. Let's get a blue source, put the red into play, that way we have the double red for the Genesis Ultimatum. Can't attack with our 0-1, unfortunately. We have plenty of discard fodder if our opponent's playing Croxer. Which is kind of what I assumed right out the gate. Ooh, Prankle, make me sack. Make me draw a card, thank you. Storm's Wrath. Well, we can play Genesis Ultimatum. I don't think we know any of the composition of our deck, so it's a random chance of hitting every single card here. So if we hit, like, Terrors and Beanstalk Giants, then we hit the Prankle that way. I can just go for the Storm's Wrath, though, and just hit the Prankle this way, and also kill my token in the same way. So I think that's okay. If they play another Prankle, then we'll solve that problem. Blue, 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 green, green, green. We've got Body of Research mana. Let's just grab a mountain. Temple of Malice. And Phoenix of Ash. Alright. Yeah, it's time to Genesis Ultimatum now, I think. See what we can hit. Terra, Terra, Beanstalk Giant. Yeah. That'll do. What was Beanstalk Giant? It was going to be an 8/8. I should have probably played my Forest first, because then I get an extra point on the Beanstalk Giant. Because this is 16... No, it's not actually. It's 18 because of the pathway coming into play as well. So, actually, no, it's lethal, because the terrors trigger off each other as well. So, yeah, cool. Cool, cool, cool. But yeah, I should have played my land first. Next game. Alrighty then, on the draw with no ramp and no real castable cards. Like, Negate is the only good card here. It could be just dead in this matchup, so we're going to hit the mull on this one and try for a better hand. Yeah, I don't think there's a redeemable quality for this hand at all. This one's much better. It has exactly the same upside as the last one, but with more upside. Who gets to die here? Who gets to go to the bottom? I want to keep my third land. I don't want to miss my Cultivate. Do I want double Cultivate? Maybe, but if I'm taking double Cultivate, then I'm losing something else. I think I will bottom it. Always get shuffled back in later, and we could draw more ramp along the way. Alright, this is going to be a good negate matchup. And we did draw some extra ramps, so that's cool as well. Will Tree means I can put my mana on pretty much any side I want. Oh, it's the Mutate combo list. I like this deck. It's cute. Dreamtail Heron. That does make a legitimate threat. And starts drawing them to their win cons. So this is not going to be a matchup where Negate's good, as it turns out. So I'm just going to try and get to this Genesis Ultimatum as quickly as possible and hope that that gets us there. Like, if it is the Vadrock list, where they do cast instants and sorceries from their graveyard to win the game, then there's maybe some hope for me here, but this right here, making a 3/5 that I can't kill, a little more difficult. Sea Dasher Octopus, loots, draws from combat. Made it a 2/2. Storm's Wrath, please. That's a weird line. I don't think they realized what they were doing when they did that, but it won't make a difference. Not particularly, anyway. Now, it definitely won't make a difference. Selfless Savior can give it indestructible if we do, like, Genesis Ultimatum into Terror of the Peaks. More Dreamtail. Yeah, there's the Omen Paths combo. So they're looking to basically get a Vadrock. Alright, well, let's see if we can win the game. We're going to have to get really lucky on this ultimatum. And we got extremely unlucky instead. Plenty of removal, but removal that is not good enough. And that likely says, goodbye, GG. I mean, we're already dead. They're just literally avoiding lethal, so let's go to the next game. Alrighty then, on the draw, got a 3-lander, but we do have to use the Kazul's Fury to get there. The rest of the hand is kind of removal based, but the colours are all here to make me able of using them. I think I'll keep this. I'm pretty sure I'm throwing Kazul's Fury down turn 1. I guess I can go Mountain first. Like, if we draw a 3-drop, then I'll know to play the Kazul's Fury. Otherwise, I might just end up using Fire Prophecies, and those are going to help me make my land drops anyway. In theory. I just don't want to get stuck on 3 playing a tap land. That's my only concern. Alright, so hit you. Get rid of Terror of the Peaks here. Yeah, see, this is my concern. With the Skemfire Avenger, my concerns are no longer a concern. Alright. I think I still hit the Skemfire Avenger with a Fire Prophecy here. Control dies, yeah, so I can hit that. I might as well do it now. Stops our opponent having like a Malakia Rebirth or something. Let's get rid of... I mean, Genesis Ultimatum has less chance of hitting good stuff, so let's put that to the bottom. We're here to Body of Research anyway, right? So let's make sure we have that availability. So it's basically all but confirmed now we're up against elves and not berserkers. Green, black elves, eh? Alright. I do need to put this on red so we have the Storm's Wrath. Then I can play this on blue. Elvish Warmaster. Yeah, I'm playing a little bit greedy here to try and get more value, but it certainly has worked out. And we even got a World Tree so we can fix all of our mana. That's absolutely what I wanted right there. So now we're like 3 land drops away from Research into Fury, and this is not a matchup that can deal with that. Another Body of Research. So I could play this. If they don't have a removal spell, they lose. I think that's worth doing. Otherwise, we can pivot to the Fertile Footsteps, make land drops, things like that. So they do have a Binding of the Old Gods. Question is, do I trust them to have another? That would be a tough question. If they had another, I'm kind of stranded. If they don't, they lose. There's no real reason for me to make that play, I don't think. Like, the risk involved is too high. When in fact we just know that if I play Body of Research plus Fury, they're going to lose. Paragon. If it was kicked, reveal top 6 card of your library, and then get a elf, I guess. Skimfire Avenger, I guess? Nope. Elvish Warmaster. I'll just kill it. Decline, I like my cards. Let's play a Beanstalk Giant. We know their hand's empty now, actually, so maybe I should have gone with the Body of Research. Problem with that line is Tyvar Kel can ult here and then start drawing cards. To find the answer. But looks to me like they want to play weirdly. Okay. So they draw 2 off of every elf now. Which is really good. We're on the clock. They'll get another Tyvar Kel. Alright, that's a land drop. That is Body of Research plus Negate. So anything they can use here to hit this 42-42, I think, is going to be instant and sorcery based, so... Or non-creature based, more specifically. So Tyvar doesn't draw cards off of Tyvar emblems, good to know. And Harold leaves them with 1 mana, so the only thing they can have at this point is... Well, I guess they could have like a Heartless Act, because they can untap with their elves here. They all produce black mana. But yeah, this is neither an instant or an enchantment or an artifact, so like Reclamation Sages. If they even exist at this point, I don't know if they do. I don't think they do, right? They're not going to be good enough. So our opponent is just going to get a 42-42 flung at them as soon as they decide that their turn is over. I'm not in a position where I need to block. And so, business is concluded. Whee! I love flinging things. It's so fun. Could have a bit close, but yeah. We got there. Next game. Alrighty then. Let's have a look. We have no green, so I think this is a mull. Yeah. I seem to feel like all my starting hands in the casual queue end up like this. It's kind of annoying, but comes with the territory, I guess. Alright, we're going to keep this one. And I think we're going down the Genesis Ultimate, we are getting rid of the thing that we're ramping into, but we've got plenty of those, including, honestly, a 7-drop Beanstalk Giant. I would assume is perfectly fine as well. Alright, lead with the mountain. And rally the ranks. Playing against warriors. Oh, we know it as a thing, isn't it? That'll be it. Alright, so we do want to be on track for a Body of Research, but we also want to hold up in our Fire Prophecy. That's doable. This always goes on green then. Runeforge Champion, out of range of my Fire Prophecy. Ouch. Grabs the lifelink one. Doesn't put power and toughness on it though, so that's not too much of a concern. Storm's Wrath. Could be okay. We're going to go and put this on blue, then we're going to cultivate, go green and blue. Let's get the... It doesn't matter. Green is play. If we need to, we can Wrath off of the mountain here. Oh my god. Maul of the Skyclaves. Good news is, they don't really seem like the... That's a really good hit. They don't seem like the type of deck that would be able to answer a body of research once it resolves. This is huge. This gets to kill the Maul, which they attach the rune to. So I like that. I'm never going to be able to fire Prophecy plus Command, I don't think, but I don't know if that's a reason to stop playing my Mountain. Let's get blue. Yeah, I'm going to Prismari Command, destroying the Maul. Hopefully we get to see them try and put another rune on top of it. Wouldn't surprise me in casual queue if that causes them to scoop. People scoop so easily in this game. In this queue specifically. We are going to create a treasure token, I think. Goodbye, Maul of the Skyclaves and double rune. Not sure if they saw this coming, but we'll see. I don't even know if there is an answer to this. Alright, so we made him skip a draw step, which is nice. He also put the champion back in range. This is huge. Yeah, I think we got body of research here. If they don't have the answer, they don't seem like the type that would. Then we untap with a Kazul's Fury. Thanks. Well, land into combat. I mean, they might have a Wrath, so... Hang on. Get rid of the Wrath. That should fizzle the Sigrid. It did, and that'll do it. I was not thinking about a Sigrid, because that is probably the first time I've ever seen it resolve. I kind of thought a Doomscar was more likely than this card, but... Yeah, good job we had the Fire Prophecy open. Managed to get that one out of there. That would have been really brutal. It wouldn't have been the end of the world. It's like we could Storm's Wrath off of that and then, you know, rebuild from there. We still have a Beanstalk Giant ready to go. It's a 7/7. It's still a legitimate threat that can be flung later down the line. But yeah, that would have stung quite a fair bit. But yeah, we got him there. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you've enjoyed. If you have, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. I do apologise, it's probably on the shorter end of the video scale for this channel, but I'm in a bit of a rush, so yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed. If you have, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you all next time. Ta-ra!